Everything happens for a reason. Almost every culture says this. Different religions, different philosophies, different languages. But somehow, the message never changes. That should make us pause. Because when the same idea survives thousands of years across completely different civilizations, it is not accidental. It is observed truth. Yet today, when something painful happens, we struggle to believe it. A breakup, a failure, a sudden loss, a phase where nothing makes sense. In those moments, everything happens for a reason. Feels like a lie. Because pain feels personal, unfair, targeted. But ancient wisdom never said that the reason would feel good. It only said that it would make sense later. Across time, people noticed something strange. Life rarely removes things randomly. It removes them when they stop fitting who you are becoming. Different traditions described this differently. Some called it destiny. Some called it divine order. Some called it balance. Modern psychology calls it adaptation. Different names. Same observation. Think about the moments that hurt the most. Not because they destroyed you, but because they interrupted you. They broke routines. They ended attachments. They forced silence where there was noise. That silence is what scares us. Because silence exposes truth. When life moves fast, we don't notice misalignment. But when something is taken away, suddenly everything becomes quiet. And in that quiet, we are forced to see clearly. That is why loss feels unbearable at first. Not because it is wrong, but because it removes distraction. Ancient thinkers understood this. They believed suffering was not punishment. It was feedback, not from a judging force, but from life itself. When something repeatedly collapses, it is usually not because you are unlucky. It is because you are holding on to something that no longer matches your inner direction. The mind resists this. The ego panics. Because the ego prefers familiarity over growth, even if familiarity hurts. This is why people often say, "I feel like I'm losing everything." But what they are really losing is an old version of themselves. A version that already served its purpose. When people say, "God did this," they often imagine control. But ancient wisdom imagined something else. Not control, but correction. Not interference, but rearrangement. Like a river adjusting its path. When a rock blocks the way, the water doesn't argue. It flows around it. Humans are the only ones who argue with reality. This is why the idea, "everything happens for a reason," appears in every tradition. Not as comfort, but as orientation. It reminds us that life is not against us. It is shaping us. Often through removal, not addition. If you feel like your life is falling apart, ask yourself something quietly. What is being cleared? What is being loosened? What is no longer necessary? Because realignment always feels like loss before it feels like clarity. Ancient wisdom never promised comfort. It promised meaning. And meaning only appears after resistance ends. So if you are in a phase where things are ending, where people are leaving, where certainty is disappearing, you are not broken. You are being repositioned. Everything happening now is not random. It is directional. And one day, when the noise settles, you won't say, "Now I understand why it hurt." You'll say something quieter. "Now I understand why it had to happen."